Guys, why is this vlog already stressing me out? Try not to scream at the page. I'm either gonna love this or hate this. But also the people pleasers get it. Everyone in this book is evil. This week we are going to be reading books that I think or hope will be 5 stars for me. Why does this feel stressful? Like, I feel like this is quite like a pressure vlog. I actually wasn't sure if I was ever going to film a vlog like this, because sometimes I think when you go into a book being like, this is going to be a 5 stars or this needs to be a 5 stars, then I feel like you can get disappointed. But I'm definitely not going to approach this vlog like this. Like, I'm actually going to go into it with the perspective of like, I just think I'm really going to enjoy these books. That's what this vlog essentially is me reading books that I am hoping that I'm gonna love. I think it's just based on vibes I'm gonna love. When I decided to do this video, 3 books that I'm gonna be reading like stood out to me so clearly. I had them already in my mind and I'm so excited to do that. So let's just jump right into it, guys. I'm gonna show you guys the first book I'm gonna be reading of this challenge. I've been waiting for like a good sunny week to read this book because I think this is like the ultimate summer book and I've just been waiting for the perfect time, and it is now. We're gonna be reading The Wedding People. I am so excited to read this book. Firstly, I think genuinely the experience of reading a book becomes 10 times better when the book is gorgeous. I don't make the rules, but this is the most gorgeous book I've ever seen. It's funny because this book was very big last year. I think it was last summer it came out, or like it was last summer it really like took off and everyone was talking about it, and I actually don't think I would have enjoyed it last summer because my taste in books was just quite different, and I feel like it's changed a lot, and I really enjoy more like character driven stories now where maybe there's not as much happening but it is more character driven. It's also set in Rhode Island, which I am like obsessed with, like East Coast America. That would be my dream if I could live there. So I'm so excited for the setting of this. I remember Sarah Caroli did a vlog where she read this book in the place it took place, and it was such a gorgeous vlog. So I'm so excited to like get in the world that this is set in. Yeah, like I said, it is a gorgeous week in Scotland, 26 degrees today, so I think this is a perfect book to be reading in the sun. I say that I can't actually read in the sun really today because I burnt myself. I literally got myself burnt, and I'm usually very responsible when it comes to sunbathing. Like, I'm always putting my SPF on. I take breaks when needed, and yesterday I was just really silly and I got burnt. So we will be reading in the shade, not exactly the sun, but I am so excited to pick this up. I don't know too much about it. I do believe it follows 2 women who are both just going through it, and we just find how they like cross over. There's a wedding that takes place, and I think maybe one of them like accidentally like crashes or gets involved, and that's how they sort of meet. So I'm kind of going in blind, and I am so excited to read this. Hey divas, we've got a bit of a different reading spot right now. Me and my best friend, it's so nice today that we've came out for a little reading date and we've came to the nicest wee spot. Look at where we're gonna sit. Actually gonna sit under this little tree and just do some reading. Kristen currently at the moment is not here because she's running back to the car to get us a wee blanket to sit on because the grass is so overgrown. Literally gonna sit under this tree. I've never done this before and this is feeling extremely whimsical actually, so I'm really excited to be here. First impressions of the book from what I read when I was sitting in my garden. I actually am feeling pretty good about this one already. I literally read 20 pages and then I had to go in for a French lesson. I really like the writing style of this. It's kind of like dark humour, like it is. I think there's going to be like some pretty heavy topics discussed, but it already feels like they'll be discussed in a very like light way, and I just think I'm really going to enjoy the setting. I'm feeling good about this one already, but we'll obviously read more this afternoon and actually see how we get on. gonna have a little cozy reading night in. I say cozy and that's like the opposite of what I mean, because it is boiling in this room. Like the last thing I want is to feel cozy. I actually would love to just feel a bit cool air. But we are gonna sit and chill out and read some more of this book. So I managed to get 66 pages in today before we literally had to run away from the field because cows were coming. If you watched my last vlog, you will know the entire lore behind. We had a great afternoon at just sitting reading and I was loving reading this book. The first thing I need to say about it though is I feel like I completely underestimated how like genuinely sad it would be, because I think a lot of the book, like, it's told through quite dark humour, and like our sort of main character whose perspective we are getting it from so far, Phoebe, I think the way she just actually copes with things is by putting a sort of like humorous spin on it and just being very like, the way she says things is so blunt about the way she's feeling and like how what she's going through. She just says it like so matter of factly. So I think when I first started reading this book, I don't think I anticipated like genuinely how sad it would be, but reading so far about everything she has been through with her marriage and just the way she like views herself and feels about herself, oh my god, it was actually making me so sad. She has obviously encountered Lila. She's found herself kind of getting caught up with this wedding party, particularly the bride of the wedding that the hotel is hosting. Phoebe is the only person staying at the hotel who's not part of the wedding party. Like, they're, by some mistake, they managed to let her in, and basically her and Lila, the bride, have sort of started talking. They are such like opposite people. Lila takes over the room, like commands the room. One of the things the author actually wrote from Phoebe's perspective, when Phoebe saw Lila, and like Lila basically like charged into Phoebe's room, and Phoebe thought to herself, this girl has a mum who loved her so much, because there's no other way that she would feel like she has the right to barge into someone's room like that. In Phoebe's experience with her parents, she has spent her entire life like trying to become smaller and make herself smaller, which once again made me so sad to read about. But just like the writing of the book, I feel like it is actually gonna like break my heart over and over again. But I'm still loving the way the story's being told, so we're gonna get into this some more tonight. Of course, girls, popcorn bolted at the ready. We've actually got some chocolate with it as well, but the chocolate is kind of melted because it is so warm. For my reading playlist tonight, I've actually found a playlist specifically for this book because I just thought there would be like good playlists out there for this, so I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna eat my popcorn and we're gonna read some more of this book. Guys, literally send help. See how I was just saying about like how it's breaking my heart, everything that Phoebe's going through and like the way she feels about herself and stuff, and like making herself small. Bitterball just came on the playlist. I am gonna be sick. Hello guys, it's been a few days because over the weekend I was away at a little silver wedding, so I wasn't in the house and I obviously wasn't reading, but I thought I would give you guys an update on the wedding people because I've had a good bit of time to sit and read it today, and guys, I am loving this book. I really am loving this book, kind of as much as I thought I would, but actually no, I don't think I thought I'd love it this much. Still don't know if it's a 5-star yet. Like, I'm gonna need to wait and see how this all plays out and like how it all wraps up to be able to say whether or not this is a 5-star. All I've been thinking about it when I'm reading it is like, I feel as though it genuinely has every element that I love in a book. Like, it has all the things that I really enjoy when I'm reading. First thing would definitely be like just all the complex characters. Like, I do love a character driven story these days. days. I used to not really love it. I actually do think the plot in this is crazy. Like, this is a messy book, but what we are much more following is the characters themselves and how messy and complex they are, particularly our main character Phoebe. So Phoebe has gone to this hotel pretty much, you know, done with her life because she's been through a lot. She's just got divorced. She finds herself getting caught up in this wedding party, and particularly with the bride. So the messiness and the complexity of everyone in this story I'm obsessed with. Other thing I'm really loving about this is, like, I do love when a book feels like therapy. I love when you read a book and like it kind of like speaks to something that you're feeling, or like makes you feel better, or offers you a new perspective about something you're dealing with. Like, I feel like that is what makes people love books, is when they find something that they themselves can relate to. And it's so nice when you see like a character who has like one way of thinking, and then by the end of the story you see how that's like shifted and they have a new way of thinking. But I do feel like in most books you don't see that like shift in thinking until sort of like 70-80% into the story, and you don't get that much time to like explore it or like get to be with them when they have this like new way of thinking or new perspective. The biggest thing I love about this book is that we genuinely see Phoebe changing. I would say 100 pages into the story, maybe even less than that. Phoebe getting involved with this wedding party is like a turning point for her, and it's not like, oh, overnight she suddenly becomes this like transformed person, but it is so lovely as a reader to like get to see step by step every single time she is maybe going to think about something in a way she's always thought about it, and then she goes, actually life doesn't have to be like that. Because Phoebe at the start of this book is very depressed. Like, definitely check your trigger warnings for this. It's like her maybe witnessing something between two other people that makes her think, I could have that, or my life could be like that. Just like seeing her slowly but surely like opening herself up to the world again is so lovely as a reader. Like, I love books like this. It's leaving me with like a warm fuzzy feeling. When I started reading this book I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because I think it might be a really sad book, but it is so real and raw, and it honestly gives you as a reader so much hope as well, which I just love. Like I said, this has everything I love in a book. Sorry, my Harry Styles bookmark, it just keeps popping out. He just needs to be involved. Now I'm 299 pages into this book and I'm getting nervous. It's only got like 70 pages left, and we are at a messy point in the story now where I don't really know how it's going to play out. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I'm kind of nervous, but I am so invested. I'm so invested in all of these characters. I always dog ear pages I like, and then I'll go back and like underline it. And a big telltale sign that I'm like loving a book is when I do that a lot, and I've been doing that non-stop with this. I'm gonna read you guys 2 quotes in the books that I feel like show you what I'm meaning about the way like Phoebe's perspective is changing from her like being aware of what a bad place she's in to them being like, actually there's hope for me, and like she feels differently about her life. So this is like early on in the book where she's kind of just met the bride, who could not be more different to her. She's like so full on and kind of like entitled, to be honest, but in a lot of ways like Phoebe finds it endearing. But yeah, the bride Lila is like super entitled. It says, Phoebe doesn't know how some girls grow up to become women like the bride, who treat everything as their inheritance. Phoebe had been raised to feel sorry for everything, sorry for being born, sorry for almost drowning, sorry for getting an A- on an exam. Sometimes Phoebe sent her class apology emails after lectures when she didn't finish on time because she was a good professor, a good woman, but where is the line? When did Phoebe being good become Phoebe being nothing? Which honestly just broke my heart reading that. I was like, oh my god. But also the people pleasers get it. And then later on in the story, her husband, like the reason they got divorced is because her husband had an affair. She basically says she wonders if with Mia, for whatever reason, Matt can be weird, if this is why he needs her, if that is what made him feel alive again. And for the first time, the thought doesn't fill her with horror but with hope. Maybe one day she will find someone and together they will be weird. It's done in such small ways like that you just see her having a bit of hope about life again. Things that have made her miserable for so long, like she's just got a different perspective about it. I'm loving this so far, guys. I don't know if I'm going to finish it tonight. I'm going to go in and get a shower, get into my jammies, and we'll see if I end up finishing this tonight. But if I don't finish it tonight, I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. Good morning, divas. because we finished The Wedding People last night, and I am so excited to talk about this because I loved this book from start to finish. This was absolutely incredible in the last sort of 70-80 pages, and I was so nervous to see how everything was going to play out because I was thinking, I think this is going to be really messy, and it's like, I don't know, like it's definitely going to impact how I feel about the entire book as a whole depending on how this goes in the end. I thought this ending was perfect. Like I loved the way this all played out. I feel like it was sort of the best case scenario, and it was all kind of like, it just all quite happened quite naturally, and I really enjoyed that. When I was finishing this book last night, I had my earphones in and I had just on like my little like chill reading playlist, and End of August by Noah Khan came on. It literally made me so emotional listening to that whilst reading this book because I actually realised that song is so perfect for this book. I felt like it was just capturing how Phoebe was feeling. They're in this hotel and like there's a wedding on. Obviously there comes a point where like she needs to leave the hotel, and that happens at the end of the book. You don't expect her to like build this connection to this hotel because it's like in this little hotel room that she came for something completely different than this wedding. It's like she has changed so much in a person in this hotel, and it was like quite emotional for her packing up and leaving, and just the way it was like being described, it made me so emotional. And then having End of August on in my earphones, oh my god, I was literally so emotional. I am begging yous, like we've got what, like a month or two left, realistically like a month and a bit left of summer. I am begging you guys to read this book before summer is over because this is just such a wonderful summer read. I can confirm this is going to be getting rated a 5 stars. We have found our first 5-star of the video. I did have high hopes for this, and my hopes were honestly exceeded. I really enjoyed this book. My next book that I'm planning on reading, like I said, I kind of had the 3 books in my head that I was planning on reading, and I actually don't know if I'll get to all 3 in the video. We might do like 2 or 3, we'll see. But the next book, like I have had in my head and been like, I think I could rate this 5 stars, but I'm really nervous because I feel like I'm either gonna love this or hate this. I'm not 100% sure. I'll just show you guys what I'm thinking of reading next, and that is Shuggie Bain. Firstly, the reason I think this could be a 5-star for me is because I'm already excited about this like being about a boy growing up in Glasgow. I don't think I read enough Scottish stories, and it makes me so happy to see this Scottish author like get so much success from this as well, so I really want to love this. I also find that a lot of the time like what plays into me giving a book 5 stars can genuinely be me just never having read something like this before, and I really enjoy that in a book. I love when I read a book and I'm like, I've never read anything like this before, that's so refreshing. And I feel like I've never read anything like this book, and that's what makes me think that this, if I like this could be a 5 stars. But someone left a comment on one of my videos when I was talking about like this being on my summer TBR and saying they found it really slow and really hard to get into, and that's made me nervous now because I did have really high hopes for this. But then like looking through the book as well, I feel like the writing's small, but actually it's probably not. I thought that last night when I looked at it, but now that I'm looking at it I'm like, it's not really. And I think it's like 420 pages, so it's not even that big. I felt as though when I picked it up last night and I was actually looking at it, I was like, oh, maybe that's quite an intimidating book, but now that I'm actually looking at it I'm like, I feel like it's not. Genuinely don't know very much about this at all. From what I've heard, I believe it is about a boy growing up in Glasgow. It doesn't really say much. I've heard some people say it's quite sad, so I have no idea what to expect, but I am very excited to read this, so we're going to start reading this today. We got like 60 pages into this so far. I'm about to go for a French lesson, but I can confirm I am really enjoying this so far. I think this is probably really gonna distress me and upset me. So far it's already quite distressing. We are basically following Shuggie Bain. Yeah, pretty much has a pretty traumatic life, and like we start with his POV, but then now we're like going like 10 years back. When the book starts he's 16, but now we're going 10 years back to when he was like a child. So far I really like the writing style of this. I like the way the story's being told, and I was finding it hard to put down because it's like, see, when it's family drama, or actually family drama is like, I feel like that's really downplaying what's going on in this book. This is family trauma. But all the stuff that's happening, I'm like, oh my god, like I cannot put it down because I like need to know how this is all gonna play out. So far very good, but yeah, I'm scared to see where this is gonna go because I think this is gonna be a tough read for sure. So it's the next night, but literally yesterday, I'm not joking, I'm like almost halfway through the book. Yeah, I made it to page 178 of this book because I literally could not put it down. This is crazy, but crazy in a very sad way. Like, it is a really hard read. We're really just following his story, but it is from the perspective of like all the people in his life. So his dad, his mum, his siblings. We find out how they got to the place that they're in, which is like in no way to try and redeem the characters, but I do love books like that where you just like understand why people are the way that they are, even when it's like completely unacceptable for them to be the way that they are. I still appreciate understanding like how we got to that point, and I'm loving that about this book. I think just a few things I would say about this book for anyone thinking of reading it. Firstly, check your trigger warnings, like for sure. There's some heavy stuff in here. Secondly, what I'm loving about it is like how true to Glasgow it feels. Obviously it's not a Glasgow I have lived in, like this being set in the 1980s and it's post-industrial Glasgow, which to be honest is something I didn't really know or understand much about. So it's obviously not like the same Glasgow I know today, but still just hearing the way people speak to each other, hearing all the phrases, it's lovely to read that. It's obviously not often you get to read a book set in Glasgow. It really captures so many of the Glaswegian like mannerisms and humour and honestly lore in general. So I can understand from the perspective of maybe not someone who's not Scottish, because I think maybe like people from the UK, Ireland would get this, but I could kind of understand maybe like an American or someone whose first language wasn't English. This might be kind of a difficult read because there is so much like Scottish slang. But yeah, those are my initial kind of thoughts so far. I'm going to do some more reading tonight because I cannot wait to sit down with this again. This book is getting finished this morning because, do you know what I've realised? The reason I like have not been able to put this down and I've been reading it so quickly over the past few days is genuinely because I'm so stressed reading it, and like I need to get to the end of this book and there has to be a happy ending. Like there actually, if there is not a happy ending at the end of this book, I'll probably lose sleep over fictional characters. Not even fictional characters, a fictional character, Shuggie the child. Oh my god, that poor wee soul. Like, firstly, pretty much everyone in this book is evil. The men, oh my god, the men in this book, this is like rage bait, but it's not rage bait because it's actually too distressing and evil to even be like rage bait. Like, it's not annoying me, it's actually killing me. Like, it's so upsetting. The men in this book are evil. I legitimately don't know how much more this child can take. I actually don't know how he's gonna move on. Like, guys, this to me, I've never read A Little Life, and I probably never will read A Little Life because I don't think I could cope with it, but from everything I've heard about A Little Life, this to me is feeling like A Little Life. Like, it's just like one thing after another is happening to this child. It is a sweet, sweet child, and I literally can't cope. I'm so stressed that like I need to finish this because I'm like so distressed, but this is an incredible book because I've literally not been able to put it down, but I'm also not able to put it down because I'm so stressed that I'm like, I need to see this child is okay. Like, I need to see where this is gonna go. But like, as the book is going on, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. These people in this book are literally evil, and in a lot of ways it's like they're not. Like, well, no, they are, but a lot of it is just to do with like how they were raised, the time that this like takes place in, and what was acceptable. And like, I know all these things play into it. I know people aren't actually like evil inherently, but like they are doing evil things, and everyone in this book I hate, apart from Shuggie. Literally apart from Shuggie. Guys, I'm so stressed, but I need to go finish this now. The thing I need to say about this as well, and this is like where I feel so strongly that I'm like, everyone in this book is evil. The two kind of victims of this story is mainly Shuggie and his mum, but the men in this are literally evil. This is like the buzzword of the day. It's like everyone's so bad that then someone got involved who we finally thought, could this be like a good one? And literally everything now that is happening in this like last portion of the book, of everything just going so downhill, is because of this stupid man who we like considered to maybe have been like a good guy. See, when I was reading what this man had done, and it was more just like out of sheer stupidity rather than like actually trying to hurt her, because he's a man, like all he is thinking about is like his own ego and how things are being perceived and how what other people are thinking of them, and like wanting to be normal. And like what he does is the stupidest. Like, I literally was reading it and I was like trying not to scream at the page because I was like, what are you doing? And it's just so frustrating now to like then witness everything that's happening, but like everyone in this book is still considering him like a good guy because that is how awful everyone else is. Guys, I can't. I literally can't. Guys, what on earth? Right, you know a book has been like life-changing when you finish it, and then the next second you literally go straight onto YouTube to see if you can find like an interview with this author talking about this book, because you just need to like understand more. You need to like get in this author's head of every like thought he had whilst he was writing this book, and that's exactly what I've just done. I finished this book and then literally went and watched an hour-long interview of him talking about this book, because I just like had to be in his head, because this is one of the craziest books I've ever read. Such a wonderful, amazing, incredible, but like so painful book. Like, I have never read anything like this, and I honestly don't know if I'll read anything like this ever again, because I don't know if I could put myself through that again. I think definitely I was like jarred at the end, because I don't think I've ever really read a book like this where it actually doesn't get wrapped up with a bow in the end. It definitely leaves on a hopeful note, but I don't think that should put you off reading it. I think you should just know the type of book this is. Obviously not like the happiest story ever. I think this book is about poverty, community, family, but specifically mothers, addiction, feeling a bit different. It's all of that put into this book. The writing of it though was like just so wonderful. I feel like the writing is what made this so good. I feel like this story could have just been like really depressing with like nothing going for it, but I think the way each character was written, like you saw them, everyone as human. There were definitely moments of like comedic relief, like especially from Shuggie, because Shuggie, oh my god, like I actually can't talk about that child because he has been through so much, but he was like a ray of sunshine of this book. It just really shows you from this book as well how resilient children are and how genuinely like pure and loving they are, like despite the conditions they grow up in. This character does not exist. Like, he is words on paper, and I'm literally going to be sitting in bed tonight being like, I hope he's okay. But what does give me hope, once again, I don't know why I need to like hope for this because he's not a real character, but the author of this book, Douglas Stewart, he's definitely drawn from his own childhood. He's spoken in interviews about how when he was 16 he lost his mum to addiction and they grew up very poor, like in the same exact time frame. To see what he has turned his life into, how successful he's obviously became now, it gives me hope for Shuggie, which once again, Shuggie doesn't exist, but I feel maternal towards him. I was like, I'm not going to be able to give this 5 stars because it did like distress me so much, but now that I've finished it, I feel like this could be a 5 stars. I honestly don't know if I'll stop thinking about this book, which I feel like is 5-star vibes. Divas, I'm so sorry. I feel as though the iPhone camera outros are becoming a real bad habit for me, and it's because I keep forgetting to film the outro, edit the video, and then by the time I've edited the video, I do not have an ounce of phone storage to like import that from my camera, so I just need to film on this. So I'm so sorry about that. I decided to end the vlog there as it was already so long and I thought I cannot keep filming another book. If you guys enjoyed this, I can totally do a part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next week for another video.